it's Jerry Ann with scrapandstampcreations.blogspot.com, and tonight I was going to do a recap of the Craft and Hobby Association's Create and Connect conference and trade show that was in Las Vegas, July 22nd through the 25th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. I had a great time. I got to meet some really great people. And it was a ton of fun. So I have, for those of you who've never been, and this was my very first time going, it really is one of those groups.
Camera first?
You got to get to the camera first.
Hi, ladies. Did they say hi yet?
They are saying hi right now, Harrison.
Was that from Las Vegas that you have?
Yeah, it's from Las Vegas.
Or your kind looks different than Daddy's?
Well, because mine are scrapbooking and Daddy's are woodcraft.
Woodworking.
Woodworking. The best part about the show itself was I went with a couple of purposes in mind. One was to figure out how to use some of the product from fiber-castell, which is here in the front, and kind of figure out what I was doing wrong. I wanted to touch base with the adhesive manufacturers as well. And so that was good. The other was I got to meet in person Tony and her sister Gigi, which I had not met in person. We've been friends online for over 2 years. And she's T. Cleo Addison. That's the Tony I met. And her sister Gigi. And it was a ton of fun. I did meet Jim the Gentleman Crafter in person. I met Tim Holtz and had a picture taken with him. I took a class from Donna Downey, which I don't know where my board went. One of my girls stole it, and I can't find it at this point. But this is a show that is geared towards buyers and artists in order to kind of look and be part of, learn some tips and techniques. When I finally got a chance to see all of the classes that you can take, I was really impressed with the classes on business and marketing that they were offering. So that was a huge benefit. They have a couple of different levels of membership that you can purchase and be part of. And if you're a designer at all, or someone who is looking to make an income off of being creative, and that, I would definitely encourage you to check it out. It definitely is worth the cost and the hoops to jump through. So here is a map of the different booths and everything. Graphic 45 was right here. And it was a great booth. I enjoyed going up and seeing the different things. Each and every day they did a different make and take and gave out some freebies. I enjoyed the Tombow booth. I enjoyed fiber-castell. And the reason I really enjoyed fiber-castell was they did a really good job showing how to use the gelatos as well as some of their other products. So that was really good. So it was pretty big, and from what my understanding is that in January in Anaheim, the show is 4 times bigger, just because in all actuality, Provocraft wasn't there. And they have such a huge group of products as well. So that was pretty amazing to me. I did kind of meet up with a couple of the different manufacturers and things. So that was nice. I had a really great time. I really, really did. So, this was kind of the floor plan. They gave you an app for your phone so that you could kind of show and see. They had no minors on the floor. Their policy was no kids available and everything. So that was really, really good. The hotel itself wasn't all that wonderful. However, it was close. We stayed at the Renaissance, which is a Marriott brand, which was on the other side of the convention center. And so it was a pretty good walk each day. However, it wasn't so far that you were so exhausted, and you could walk halfway in through the other show. And my husband actually was a part of the other show, which basically was a woodworking show. And that show, he was able to come up with a few different things as well. And he brought me a couple of little goodies that I'm going to share too. So there was lots and lots of vendors. I did get to meet I got to meet lots of people. Of course, you know, basically Tim and Dylan or Dallin. Claudine Hellsworth was there, and she actually sat in on a couple of panels that I went to. There were a lot of things. I really just enjoyed it. It was worth the time, effort, the energy, the money to go and everything. And so that was really, really helpful. So let me show you some of the goodies I brought back because I did some make and takes. I learned a couple of things. One of the products that we're going to definitely use a little more now that I know how to use it is the Aqua, is the Aqua Glue by Tombow. And I have no idea why we are having this issue. Anyhow, it was a ton of fun. And so that was a lot of the things. I have two separate bags. One bag was my goodie bag, which is my M&M bag. We got to go to M&M World. And so all of the goodies and all of the freebies and the things I made are in this bag. So I'll kind of show you my goodie bag. It was a ton of fun. It really was a ton of fun. Well, first, I went to the fiber-castell booth. And there they were making these cute little boxes using the gelatos in different ways. And so these, you kind of colored them in and rubbed them together. The cool part is that I met one of the actual design team members and a lady who actually does a ton of YouTubes and everything, Rita, who was working with fiber-castell. And I told her honestly that everything I ever did always turned out like mud. I had never gotten it to come out really nice and clean, which is why I chose to take the mixed media class on Wednesday afternoon. But this is my box, and I'm pretty proud of it. Basically, we did gelatos, and then we kind of put in the different stencils. So I'm going to show you how that happened. Because I'm going to build here. I purchased one of those $1.50 books. It's a calendar book from Michaels that was from August through July. And what I did first, and I'm going to show you how I did some of the techniques that are on this because it was really fun. basically, my husband went to the show next door and found this for me. It's called Micro Zip Sander. You can get it at Lowe's. And basically, it is a hard foam sanding block that lets you have a little more power. This has got some 120 grit sandpaper, and all I did was scuff the shininess off of my book. And it was nice because it's got this little so all I did was take and scuff up so that my book took the ink, took the white paint, because that's what I did with it. So I'm just going to brush that off there. And that roughed up the texture so that it would hold my paint. And then what I did was I took and painted over the front with the white acrylic paint from Craftsmart. Okay, so are you guys still with me or not, or how are we doing? There's not a whole lot of chatting, which means I'm thinking you guys are like watching big time. So I have my, let's see, 2, 4, I'm missing a gelato. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I have the pink set, and I have the blue set that I had purchased. In the class that I took from Fiber-Castell, I came home with quite a few little gift things in our bag. I got, from doing the make and take, I got the white pit pen. From doing the class, I got quite a few other little things. Let's see what else. What else came in that group of stuff? I don't think much of it. I think that was pretty much it. We ended up with a canvas that was already pre-done with gel medium, and you rubbed the, actually I prepped one to show you guys. Basically, they took a canvas board and gessoed it, and then they had you put gel medium on it, and then you're supposed to wet it and rub off the image because it should stick to the, let me just get this wet a little bit. The medium will make it stick to the board. So they showed us how to do that. And then what you do is you rub off your paper, and your image stays on your board. Okay, so basically you guys can, I'm going to work on this project a little later, but this is one that I wanted you to see. So they gave us a board like this for our class, and in the class I got the black pit pen, the watercolor pencils, a set of pink gelatos, as well as their brand new mix and match gelato mixer. And I saw a YouTube video, and it's got some really good directions on how to make this into a spray. So we'll definitely do that when we get ready to do that, canvas. But tonight I just wanted to kind of show you kind of the techniques that we used on this one here, because it really was pretty easy. I'm pretty impressed with it, and it is the book that I want to do. I'm going to grab a couple of my stencils because I've been collecting them but not really using them. I think I want to use this one with the cameras. And I want to go ahead and use the title that was in here as well. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is I am going to take my Pitt pen. Do I want to do that, or do I want to color it first? Let's see. What do I have for stencils that I can color? Hold on. I guess I'm going to use this chicken wire one. We'll get some color on here first. Some background color with the gelatos. And I am going to use kind of my blues more towards, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use my red, and all I'm doing is coloring through and then I sprayed it with a little bit of water. I'll set that up there. And then all I'm really kind of doing is just rubbing through. And the more you rub, the more color you take off, or the more solid your image is. So if you really just don't like it, you can literally just spray it and take the color right off with the gelatos. And it doesn't take a lot of color, which is very interesting. I don't understand your question. You can kind of blend them in together. Hey, Martha. So I'm showing everybody one of the techniques I learned, or at least one of the things. No, I am being stingy. I'm like making everybody work for it. We're kind of playing, and I'm pulling as I'm playing a little bit. So I did tell the ladies, I did let everybody know that I did a Ustream show on Monday nights, and I was going to show off some of the product and everything. So if you see some new people popping in, make sure to say hi, because they were the ones who took the extra time to come and check us out. And that tonight I let them know that there were lots of you out there who wanted to know how to use kind of some of the products and things. All right, so yeah. All right. The part about this is I learned how not to make mud. So that's pretty exciting. So you can kind of see I've got nice pinks and everything in the places that I want them to be. Now the exciting part is I'm going to grab my heat gun and we'll dry this up a little bit so that I can get to the next layer of stuff, which is always fun. Uh-oh. Where did my extension cord go? They are kind of like chapstick watercolors. They are soft. They are kind of chapstick watercolors. That is about the only way to kind of describe them. They were actually originally marketed for kids, elementary school kids. And make them into paint and things. So, all right, well, I'm digging my extension cord, guys. All right, found the extension cord plug. You know, they are not all that expensive. Actually, what I would really recommend people do, they're $10 a package at Michael's for 4 colors, brush, and a little stamp. I would look at Amazon. Yeah. You can blend with your fingers. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. It really is one of those things that if you're a perfectionist like me, it makes it a little. However, it is a little bit goes a long way. The harder you dab, the more intense the color is, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take my template off and put it somewhere that it's, I'm sure, destined to get stuff all over everything. And I'm just going to go ahead and dry this a little because it's wet where the watercolors were. And you can keep using watercolors and everything each and every time. Like, you just spray it and it'll blend again. So you do need to seal this. And so that was one of the things that I learned, a really good sealer. So we're going to share with you on that as well. I'm just drying off of my mat because, you know, I've curled a few of those. So there's a multicolor one that you can purchase, and it normally retails for $25. And you can pick it up at Michael's. Michael's, I think, has it. But I would order it online or make sure you have your 40% off coupon. And so that works out really, really well. You can find them cheaper. You can, I think they're also under the name gel sticks and stuff. So that was fun. All right, so now my page is pretty dry. So one of the things that we definitely learned how to do as well was to go ahead and use the black Pitt pen. Now it's a India ink. It's an archival, dry, all that kind of ink. And to go ahead and use those. So this was a new thing that I got. So all I'm doing now is just coloring in. Just running the ink across the edges to kind of give the outlines of the cameras. And you can trace or you can just kind of color over the top. So I really liked the Pitt pen. My favorite part of CHA was meeting the people and really feeling like the companies answered my questions. I felt like there were some vendors who were just a little not really willing to kind of chat with you about things. I have kind of a plan in place that is a 5-year plan. And it involved, my goal was actually, my goal it was to actually get to a trade show either this year or in the in the in the winter, the one in January. And this one kind of came up where it really was a benefit for me being able to go, because I learned a ton about the marketing pieces and getting published. Met some people who that's what they do, is they edit and publish and chat with people about projects and things. And I really, some of the vendors, I really felt like they were really wanted to hear kind of what was out there, what was coming, that kind of thing. I almost felt like there were a couple of vendors too that were kind of like, we have our established business kind of thing. People love us, so therefore it doesn't really matter. You know, and I know that's really hard to say, but I really felt like, for someone like me who it was my first show, to kind of go and ask and stuff, it was hard because I had some really specific questions, and for some of them I felt like they definitely knew that I needed that information, and some of them were just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. If you didn't have your checkbook out right then and there, they weren't real interested in chatting with you all that much right then. So, but I really did feel like I had gotten some really good information as well. So here's the stencil using the fiber-castell Pit Artist Big Brush Black, number 199. Highly like these a lot. The other thing that is really cool is they have a white one too. And the cool part about the white one is that you can, it shows up. And you can stamp with these. And to clean them, you just run them off and everything. Tony! Yay! So that was really cool. I really felt like it was a good piece. We'll be using the white one a little more. But the black one that came in the class was really awesome. And so that was probably my biggest thing. So I'm going to dry this marker just to get it nice and dry. So I see I have a couple of wet spots. And I just don't want to drag it all over my paper since I got good color. So, did you make it home, Tony? Or are you still in New Mexico? All right, so now we have kind of our pieces here. And I used paint on the bottom, so that was one of those things. And then, what else did I learn how to do? Oh, I learned that I could go around the edge. So now, if I just want to add this blue around the edge, I just take this like this. Plus, I can't tell you everything because Tony's on, and Tony will show you guys some stuff on Friday, I'm sure. And let me grab my little water bucket. All right. This is really what I wanted to learn how to do, guys. So, oh my goodness. I'm sure Mr. Billy can't wait to see you guys either. Is he picking you guys up at the airport? All right. So what you can do with this is take your finger and you can blend this in with your finger into the edges. And the more water you use, the more it blends in. You can layer it right over the top. We were at 58 we were at 58 pounds in our suitcase, so we had to rearrange because my husband went to a conference at the same time we did. And that made it very interesting with only one suitcase because we had to pay that. So, oh, but I'm sure he will be there as quickly as possible. All right, so that kind of shows you how you can kind of add and blend in, and that which worked out really, really well. I'm going to blow this again just to clear the edges. Tony learned a lot more techniques than I did. So anyway, this was the fiber-castell stuff. I really, really, really liked it. I felt like I walked out with a technique that I could use and show. I came home with product um, that wasn't going to just sit there and that I was going to show you guys how to use. So that was good. I did also kind of talk with the lady from Snap and learned a couple of techniques from her. Yeah, I'm sure that'd go over real well. did. We had a really, really good time. I had the best. I just enjoyed so much hanging out and getting to know everybody. Had a chance to talk with Laura Dennison and everything one of the days. It was just really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I cannot wait. So, and Tony is an online store, you guys. So once we get her settled, we definitely need to get her going there too. All right, so the other thing that I learned, which I was just amazed by, and I'm hoping, okay, yeah. Oh, crap. That was not good, but that will be a lesson. This aqua glue by Tombow, you can use just like decoupage. And hold on. Best part about it is it's for ugh. My fingers are all sticky. Oh crap. Okay. I'm gonna have to play with this a little more because I've just popped that out of there twice. And now I'm making a mess. But this will seal this just like decoupage does. It doesn't curl. It's photo safe, all of that kind of stuff. As you can see, it doesn't run, doesn't make your colors run or any of that, at least with the gelatos and the pit pens. And I have a lot on this. So, wow. It says it won't leak or clog, but if you take the outside in, goes on clear, dries clear, it's odorless, washable, non-flammable, non-toxic. They recommend using this glue actually when you're adhering paper or anything to wood. That's one of the things that they suggest using this Tombow Aqua glue. So, and so now I'm going to set this off to dry somewhere. So, you know, basically we took kind of that glossy thing and made it into this. I'm looking for, let's see here. Need some space. basically tonight I just planned on playing a little bit, showing you some different things. Wasn't looking to do a whole lot. That really is going to bother me because it's right in my mess. But I'll pull out some more of my stuff that I got, and we'll play with a few more pieces because there were some really cool things. How many of you have Tombow markers, or a set of markers that you bought because you had to buy them and basically you don't use them very often? Oh yeah, I would need some glitter on there. I'd have to sprinkle. Oh, you know what? Look, I have a salt and pepper shaker. We can add some glitter in it. There we go, Tony. Yeah. Well, and I didn't buy my Copic. I didn't buy Copics because I have two sets of markers. I have a Close to My Heart set, which I absolutely love, and I have the Tombow set. Actually, I have a third set too. I have another set that one of my kids is kind of playing with. So, but let me grab a card base. How many times have we needed just a little note card to say thank you, or yep, I have the Marvy ones. Those are them. How many times have we had to have, yeah, these ones are awesome. Anyway, this was a card that is made completely with markers. And really, I was so tickled pink with it. I'm going to grab a couple more colors. I'm going to grab a yellow and an orange. And I need a green. All right. How many times have we needed a card and thought, great, what am I going to do? I don't have a card to give. And so we go out and buy one. Not because we have a stash of cards, we just can't bear to part with them. I know it's me. I know I do that. All right, let me look for a sentiment stamp, because I'm sure I have one. Let's use this stamp that says amazing. Hey, Christine. So let's look. Here I have this stamp, amazing, from UR, and it was a special set from Close to My Heart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp the amazing. And I'm going to use my purple 6. And I'm just going to put my little mark on it. my trusty Tombow markers that are brand new. Huff on it a little bit. Stamp amazing down here in the corner. So now I really don't have to do much of anything. Put this back on my stamp set thingy before I lose what I was doing. Then you needed to take 4 buttons. Actually, I'm going to use these little silver dots. And basically, I'm just going to put 4 of them down. In a little pattern like that. Okay? So all I did is take my sticky thing. Okay? I know. All right, then we're going to take our green. I just want to see what color green I'm working on here. I think I might want this darker one. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to give some lines for stems. All right, so here's the trick to leaves. It is okay to bend your marker. So you press down on the tip and you pull out. Press down on your tip and pull out. So you put your tip down first, press down and pull. And that gives you it gives you the little lines for your flowers. Now, here's the trick. Got water near my computer. You know, we learned that lesson with Christine. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slip this inside this plastic bag so that you guys can see. They have these trusty little slick surface pieces that you can get from Tombow, and they're really awesome. It isn't very hard. What you want to do, let me grab my scrap piece of paper, is you want to take 2 colors and a darker color. Now, everybody's going to gasp at this because I really did too. I was like, oh, I can't do that. You're going to lay down some color on your transparency. You are now going to take your yellow, which if you look, it dyes yellow, and you're going to pick up some of that color in the tip of your pen. I know, we're all dying here. And then you're going to lay your tip down and squish your brush for a petal. And that gives you a variegated look. Now, you have to play with it a little bit because it really is one of those things. And you have to be okay with squishing your brush, which is really hard. It was really hard for me in the beginning because squished brushes meant broken brushes. But in all honesty, the Tombow ladies were great. They're like, no, we want you to squish your brushes. Okay. So pull out those markers that you spent $3 a piece on. You can pick up some more. And use them. Okay. And then in order to clean your brush, your tip is stained, but you'll see here that I have a yellow pen again. It's really yellow. It's not orange. It's not anything. Okay. So now I want to add some purple. I'm going to do this one in purple. So I've got this really dark purple. And I want to do it with white. These are the Tombow markers. Most of us probably had them in our stash because they're one of the very first ones. Okay? And again, we're going to pop down and pull up, pop down and pull up. And you can make them as bright as you want or as light as you want. Yeah, they actually make markers. They make all kinds of really cool things. And the ladies were really, really, really nice. I explained that I had this whole set of markers, that I had never really used them. I wasn't really a good colorer. And she showed us this technique. I will. So then you can go in with just your regular markers. For some reason, this marker is dry. Yeah, that's a dry marker. I'm going to have to replace that one. But brush tip markers should be able to do this. But I just loved how something as simple as just laying down the pen kind of made a huge difference. So this cute little card. So all I'm doing now is just kind of coloring in some of the pieces. So have you guys seen any of the new Graphic 45 stuff? Did you guys watch Laura's show? Or any of the other ladies who were able to take a few photos? I have a bunch of photos. I just have not uploaded them yet. I'm trying to figure out what to do. The Simple Stories collections were just gorgeous. I really, really liked them. The canvas? Oh, actually, it wasn't a canvas. It is the cover of a book that I'm going to use for, it's a calendar book I got at Michael's. Is that what you want her to see? Okay. Well, I'll pull out some of this stuff. Tony's got different collection when it comes to Graphic 45. I went on the last day, and so I have the Christmas collection from Graphic 45. All right, Gigi, here it is. And it doesn't look like mud, Gigi. We did a good job. Really? So. Yeah, so anyway, this is the Tombow card that we did. I have the 12 Days of Christmas to show you. So those are two of the techniques that I learned while at CHA. And you can see with practice, things get better and better and better. No, it's not dry yet because I dumped the glue on it. Remember, Mitzi? Okay. All right, so let me get some of this stuff out. I just want to make sure I remember who I kind of shared stuff with tonight because I want to make sure to tag them. I figured out the hashtag thing, guys. That's at least a good thing. Let's see what else I got in my Gucci bag. All right. So my husband, bless his heart, sat to do the make and take with me on the last day of the show. So I would have a set of Graphic 45 for the lady who hung out with Harrison the entire time we were gone. And that so I could give her a pad of paper too. So I was excited about that. So anyway, this was the tag. It's made out of one of the big, long craft tags that are really hard. They're really stiff. And then this opened, and you know your tag comes out, but there's that. Okay, so it's got one of their book plates. and kind of the little tag, some of their trim, that kind of stuff. So here is, let me yeah. So anyway, this is the paper, but I'm thinking I'm frozen. Nope, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but here. So this is the 12 Days of Christmas. So it's got some cute paper. It's got a plaid. And then this is a partridge in a pear tree and 2 turtle doves on the first day and the second day. This is some borders. Are you guys doing okay now? It's got kind of a peachy kind of thing. A pinky peachy kind of thing. 3 French hens, 4 calling birds. This is a really pretty piece. Doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas, although there is holly and stuff in it, but it's very pretty. Five golden rings and 6 geese a-laying. And then there's this gold. And kind of tone on tone. Then you've got 7 swans a swimming and 8 maids a milking with the green background. And then you've got a plaid. And here's some pears. And it's got little cards and stuff on the back. We've got 9 ladies dancing and 10 lords a leaping. And then you've got the cute little cards, the note cards, which are 2-sided. And then 11 pipers piping and 12 drummers drumming. And a stripe. So that is the graphic 45 paper that I got as a from doing the make and take. Tony, I know, has the other one, so she'll be able to go through and see. I haven't picked out a project for this one just yet. It's definitely a hot, this brand. Yeah, this brand has a lot of following right at the moment. It's kind of hot. It's what everybody talks about and stuff. It's not that I don't love it. It's that I find it very hard to use pages like this. and that where the image is so bold. You know, it's like, where am I going to put a photo? What am I going to do with that? And that. So I'm still trying to figure out kind of what to do in that. The roll, or what is it? There's a collection by Simple Stories that I absolutely adore, that I cannot wait to use on an upcoming project. And that is their Say Cheese collection. I'm really looking forward to this. I have Disney photos still that I need to do. And I loved this. I really, really loved it. It is one of my favorites. And that I loved the fact that it's really cute. I've done autograph books before. I love that there's room in the tags for autographs and everything. I just loved everything about this collection. The little snap cards. I just, this is one of those that I definitely will be using as we get closer to Christmas. I have a few friends who have Christmas kind of stuff coming up that they have gone to Disneyland, and it would be nice to be able to have something that's really pretty to put their stuff in. So I'm looking forward to using this collection a lot. So that's probably one of those that yeah. I not only got one, I got two. One for the lady who hung out with my son the whole time we were gone. Simple Stories had some cute paper for Christmas as well. Again, I think I liked it because it was a lot less. Oh, that would be a good idea. There was more, like, their decorations were in corners where you could lay out pictures and things. I liked the color scheme. I liked that it was red and green. There wasn't a whole lot of hot pink or anything like that. I really did like this one as well, the Christmas one. They had a back to school theme, which was cute. And that, but my favorite from Simple Stories really is this Say Cheese collection. Absolutely loved the collection. I think it's just because it's very much my style. Very much my style in regards to the colors, the way that the die cuts were done, all of that kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. Let me see what other make and take goodies I have in here, because I did do a few. There is a company who does 3D stickers called Paper House. And they do a lot of papers as well in regards to pretty big themes. They do the state papers, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Virginia, those big ones that have like monuments and things on them. But one of the things that they've come out with as well are some really nice 3D stickers. And they had two different make and takes. This is one that I went back 2 days in a row because I just really liked the dimension. So the first day they did a cookie box, and I thought, this is so awesome for teachers. This would be such a great thing. Yeah. And so it's a acrylic box that it's food safe. You can stick your cookies in there and everything. But basically it is just the cutest little thing. And the stickers, they're all done up as well. So they're all layered and everything, which is really, really nice. So this was the cookie box. Really, really cute. Thought cookie exchange, or just, baking cookies and sending them for teachers, or that towards the end. I thought it was a really cute St. Nicholas Day is earlier in the month of December, and that might be one that I'll work with one of my teacher friends. She does that every year, and so I think this will be good. And we can actually cut the pillow boxes out of the Cricut. And the other thing that was really cute is they showed how to do kind of a little art board and that. So more of a decoration to show how to use the product. But again, the stickers are up. They're on really substantial pop dots and things. This was the Artist at Work collection that they did. And then there was the Christmas one. And there's paper that matches these as well, which was really, really nice too. Their paper was two-sided. The ones that we used were two-sided as well. So really another really good piece there. So those were some nice things. Let's see. I went to the Bo Bunny booth. Oh wow, I've got a lot here. Hold on. I went to the Penny Black. Penny Black came out with some stencils and everything. Well, actually some die cuts. And this was one of their really nice, intricate die cuts. I learned how not to make mud with gelatos. That was probably the best thing ever. I also learned that orange is really hard to use. So master the other things first, and you can't be a perfectionist. So that's what I learned about the gelatos. We are memory keepers. Yes, they are. They are. But this was a really pretty, really nice for somebody who wants just really elegant Christmas cards. Their dies through Penny Black were just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I don't know how many of you have used the frontage kind of things, but I was at the Clear Snap booth and kind of looking with them, and she pulled out some of the different pieces and showed how to put the texture in with the fudge, making sure that you heated from the bottom and everything. So it was a really nice Christmas scene here. And it's very sparkly. It's very cute. And it was super easy. I was like, wow. And I was really, really, really happy. I liked it. I thought it was just very elegant and pretty. And an easy thing to do. Art Impressions gave out a cute little stamp. And they played a game. They gave everybody lanyards with different numbers, and you had to meet up with your partner, and then you got a stamp or whatever. They had some giveaways. So that was really cool. Never did find my partner and that, but still, it was a lot of fun. But they gave us a cute little cupcake, well, a cake stamp, and I have a second one of these, so I'm going to give one of these away. And then this was the scrapbook adhesive. They were a show, and they showed how to use they were a sponsor of the show. This is scrapbook adhesive, and they showed the different ways to add adhesive and different focal points. They did some using of the glitter just on their adhesive. They did some embossing. They did just a variety of things and using. This is an adhesive I really do like. I like their tape, that it's available in stores. Joann's carries their tape and everything, especially the long pieces. Really good. They're coming out in a different packaging, which is nice. But it was a really nice one. I stopped in the Scotch booth because Scotch was there, and they do the ATG guns and everything, which I just find, I have an ATG gun. I really enjoy it. However, I find it that it's really big, and so going different places, I always go back to my little Tombow adhesive refill. Just because it's smaller, it goes with me, and I don't feel like I end up having to roll half my tape out. So, oh, you're just so funny. So anyway, they actually, Scotch did make and take, and this is a double pocket card and everything, using a couple of their different adhesives. Asked about big bulk embellishments, and what they did is they recommended their super glue for big bulky embellishments, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. She gave me a bottle in order to bring home and try, so that I could show you guys how that all worked. And I'm not sure where I put it right at the moment because I've got a huge pile right off camera. And but they have redesigned their super glue packaging, so when you push and draw out your super glue, the minute you let go, it sucks that back in so that you're not wasting a bunch of glue. So that was really good. How many of you, just with a yes, own a melting pot? How many own a melting pot? Come on, who owns a melting pot? First, you got to get here, Lucinda. Nobody? Nobody has a melting pot. Just shy. Just shy. Well, one of the things that I wanted to do was learn how to use my melting pot as well. Now, I've played with it a little. I've tried. I've done. I really struggled and everything. But we made this little canvas with the melting pot. And I am now feeling a little bit like I'm ready to pull it out. It's got some really neat texture. So what we did was we used some of the pearlized paint and things like that. We heated up the embossing powder in the little tubey guy. We dipped after it was all done, we colored the paper. It was that tissue paper from Tim Holtz, the Tim Holtz tissue paper. They dipped it in, pulled it out, set it down, and then took a rubber molding mat and squished it in. So that's where you see these snowflakes and stuff. And then once it was cooled, they just rubbed some white distress paint over the top. But the cool part about it is that we made the tree out of a different color. And what you did is you poured your melting pot stuff onto your craft mat, your nonstick craft mat, and then you took a cookie cutter and stuck it in there and let it harden. And then once you let it harden, you popped everything out, you popped your Christmas tree out, you took off your edges, and then you could either make it into a design or leave it. It didn't matter. But anyway, so this was a technique that I had wanted to learn how to do some different things. And it was definitely a nice little piece. It's hard, it's sparkly, it's really it'll be a cute little topper to anything, to a few things. But it really, I learned how to use that, so now I'm a little more apt to play with it. This was a new paper company, that new to me at least. That was one of the cool things. I did come home with paper swatches from all of the paper companies so that I was able to determine what colors went with what lines. So that was really helpful. And so this was their metallic paper, their regular paper, their stencil, you know, to kind of show color on color, that kind of thing. So that was that one. The Die Cuts with a View booth had, they did these little pieces as well, where they took the big stacks and cut up the paper, let you kind of look around for the little vellum tags and all of that kind of stuff. Painted, used your bubbles, stencils, all of that kind of stuff. Just a cute little canvas. They had a couple of really cute lines that were coming out, so that was pretty exciting. For the company, first time that they were there with their product called Chic Tags. And this was their little make and take, and my niece just loved it. It is a cute little bookmark that says, "Too many books, so little time. I love big books, and I cannot lie." On the back, it says, "This is awesome." So it's just a little tag made into a bookmark, just a really cute little thing, easy to do. She only has a couple of lines. She did give me some of her tags and that, so that was really cute. But her lines are really, really good as well. I really liked the colors in these. More of a summer happy place collection. Lots of oranges and yellows and that teal. And so these are kind of the colors here. So this is a new paper company, and the lady was really nice, really, really nice. And they have clear acrylic stamps. They have paper. Their stamps retail for $9.99. Really, and that's their most expensive product. You know, their paper is right at the 99 cents piece and everything. Just some really soft. I loved this piece, the Schoolhouse Recess paper. It just was really nice and soft. And that's some really nice colors. And I know that that's really hard to see when you're kind of having different pieces. But I liked that they're brand new to CHA. They were brand new to the company. And that they're little banners. I love the fact that they were cut out very nicely. There are no little taggies. So the company that they're using to do the die cuts and everything was really nice. Their tags, really good quality, kind of like a paper clip here. And some really good stuff. And their colors were really nice. So that's Chic Tags. And this was their collection that came out. Tony talked with a couple more people who had a couple of different lines that were coming out brand new as well. So I'll let her share those with you. And I'm just trying to think if I have anything else that I created. There was some jewelry from Blue Moon Jewelry. My nieces both clammed on to that. Other than that, the only other thing that I came away with, which I was very excited about, was the Birds and Trees die cut and stamp set by Stephanie Bernard. So I walked away with this as well. So I'm going to kind of play a little bit, and I might have another one to give away. I'll just have to wait and see. But I'm pretty excited about it too. So do you guys have any specific questions? I know, yeah, I know there's a lag. I don't know where my big Eiffel Tower picture went. I don't know what she did with it. Well, ladies, that's pretty much what I did that's my CHA things. I'm working on getting ahead, having some projects set up. Next week, this week, everyone who placed an order since February through July, will be getting a brand new catalog, and those will be going out in those will be going out this week. So you'll have them next week. So we'll have a chance to sit and look. I have an all-day crop. If you're in the area and are interested, $20 includes lunch and dinner at the Croc Center in Coeur d'Alene from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday, August 3rd. I'll be working on some upcoming projects for my Ustream show then. There is still room, so if you are interested, please let me know. My plan is to attend CHA in Anaheim in January and kind of move through with some of those things. So I'm pretty excited about that. So with that being said, I had a great night. I was so happy to show you some of the things. I will continue to be working on projects and, kind of figuring out the techniques and working through those. I really had a great time. I learned some really great things that I'm sure that we'll get a chance to play with. And my goal, I'm be very honest with you, my goal is in the next 6 to 12 months to get published. Either online or in a magazine, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that you guys will help out with encouragement and that in getting those things to happen, because it has been a goal of mine for a long time. It's the next thing. It's the next thing on my list is to get published so that the next thing on the list happens as well. All right, so please, everybody have a great night. Can't wait to see what you do. We'll have I'll definitely be putting up on Saturdays the projects that'll be coming up on Monday night's Ustream class. I'm really going to work hard to get that stuff ahead of time so you guys will know what's coming. All right, and that'll show up on my blog. So next week we'll look through the brand new Close to My Heart catalog and have some upcoming projects with that, including the new art booking cartridge that's coming out from Close to My Heart. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had a great time. Good night, everyone.